Recessions hurt.
Jobs vanish. Bills pile up. Banks tighten. Fear spreads. But recessions end. Two forces finish the job: deleveraging and stimulus. This is how. Short, clear, human. Picture a city at night. Shops closed. People walking home slower. That pause is the economy catching its breath. We're about to see why breathing in and out matters. Long before the lights dim, everyone was borrowing. Houses, companies, even governments. Credit made life bigger and faster. People spent more. Businesses expanded. Numbers soared. Then something breaks, a shock, a panic, a bad bet. Confidence drops. Spending stops. Loans become heavy. That's the start. Imagine a balloon full of air. Too much air, and it pops. Deleveraging is letting the air out, slowly, or all at once. It hurts, but it's the only way to stop more damage. Deleveraging means cutting down debt. Simple idea. Hard reality. There are a few common ways it happens. First, people and companies stop spending. They pay down loans. They cancel projects. The economy shrinks. Painful for workers. Tough for businesses. Second, there are defaults and restructurings. Some debts are wiped away. Creditors take losses. That clears the mess for survivors. Third, assets fall in value. Houses, stocks, factories, prices drop. Debt now weighs more compared to what you own. Fourth, sometimes inflation helps. If prices rise, the real value of old debts falls. That's like shrinking the mountain you must climb. All of these cut leverage. They make the balance sheets cleaner, but they cause unemployment and loss. That's the cost. Deleveraging fixes the root problem. IT takes time. Think of our wounded team. They can't run until they heal. Deleveraging is healing. It's messy, slow, but it's necessary. Stimulus is the other side. It's the external shove to restart activity. To main kinds, monetary and fiscal. Monetary policy is central banks. They cut interest rates. They make loans cheaper. They print money in creative ways, buying assets, lending to banks. Lower rates mean cheaper mortgages, cheaper business loans. That nudges spending up. Fiscal policy is government action. Direct spending. Tax cuts. Checks to people. Infrastructure projects. Employers hired. Money handed to those who will spend it fast. That puts cash back in pockets. Picture a stalled car on a hill. Deleveraging is the driver fixing the engine. Stimulus is a tow truck pushing from behind. Both help the car move again. Alone, deleveraging can be brutal. It crushes demand. Alone, stimulus can be costly and may not fix broken balance sheets. Together, they can shorten the pain. When governments pump money in, people keep getting paid. Banks don't fail as quickly. That prevents a wave of defaults. Monetary easing lowers debt service costs, making payments more manageable. That reduces the need for painful restructures. But there are trade-offs. Big stimulus can raise future inflation. It can lead to higher public debt. Sometimes it props up weak firms that should fail. Policymakers juggle these risks. The goal: buy time for deleveraging to happen in a less destructive way. If you've ever been rescued from drowning, you know relief matters. Stimulus rescues. Deleveraging teaches you to swim. 2008 started as a credit boom. Houses were the centre. People borrowed too much. Banks wrapped risks into complex products. When that bubble burst, confidence vanished. Credit froze. Deleveraging began. Defaults, bankruptcies, plunging asset prices. Central banks cut rates. They injected liquidity. Governments passed stimulus packages. But private sector debt remained high. That made recovery slow. People repaired balance sheets for years. The recovery was weak at first, then steady. This wasn't a quick fix. It was a long clean-up. Think months that turned into years. In 2020, the shock was different. A health crisis froze the economy fast. Policymakers moved faster. Central banks slashed rates instantly. Governments sent big direct payments. The rest drift. Keep 3 to 6 months of expenses if you can. Reduce high-interest debt first. Maintain a line of credit for emergencies. Diversify income where possible. Stay informed, not panicked. Picture a small cafe. IT had olon. Customers stopped coming. The owner cut hours. He defaulted on some bills. That was the deleveraging. The city council then hired locals for a street cleaning project and handed grants to small businesses. That was fiscal stimulus. The cafe survived. It changed its menu. It learned to operate leaner. Months later, business returned. Not all shops made it, but some did, stronger and smarter. That cafe is the whole point. Recessions hurt. Policies help. People adapt. Deleveraging fixes balance sheets. Stimulus restores spending. One cleans the wound. The other provides the medicine. Together they stop the bleeding and help recovery begin. It's not magic. It is messy policy, judgment calls, and trade-offs. Sometimes it works fast. Sometimes it takes years. Prepare, be cautious with leverage. Keep some cash. Know your risks. Watch policy moves, rate cuts, stimulus bills, big spending. They tell you what might come next. Recessions end when the debt problem gets smaller and demand comes back. Deleveraging and stimulus are the twin forces that get us there. They hurt, they heal, they trade off risks. They bring life back slowly, then faster. If you want the simple model that ties this all together, search Ray Dalio Breakdown or Ray Dalio Explained.